Hey guys, today I'm talking about why mental training doesn't work. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy coming from a mental performance coach whose job is to train kids mentally for maximum confidence and their best performances. But I'm going to tell you, there are situations where mental training doesn't work. And I'm going to give you some scenarios. So, one way that it doesn't work is if a family is looking for a quick fix and they're putting their kid into mental training, but they're not shifting the mindset within the support squad. A lot of the time I'll see kids staying stuck. So I'm going to give you a little story time now. One of the coaches on my team who I adore, she's fantastic. She has helped hundreds of kids overcome mental blocks, build confidence, hit under pressure. I mean, she works with extremely high level athletes. She also works with little kiddos. I mean, she's magic, right? So she worked with this one athlete for 2 sessions, and then the athlete bombed a competition. Like worst competition she'd ever had. And so mom is like, we quit. It's not working. We're out of here. You guys are, this isn't working. And the second that I got that email, I was like, I know exactly what's happening here. And a lot of what we do is we help kids build a growth mindset. And that's the type of mindset that embraces setbacks, that embraces challenges, that is willing to do the work, that is willing to be patient, that knows that when you have grit, it always works out in the end. And if it's not working out, it's not the end. So that's what we teach in the kids. Now, if mom is sitting watching a competition or dad is watching a competition and going, why is she failing? What's going on? This is terrible. We gotta start pointing fingers and blame and go, well, this mental training is the problem. And that tells me that there's a fixed mindset. And the fixed mindset likes to place blame. It likes to find someone to go after if the kid is having a rough competition. Where my initial reaction is, if one of my clients has a bad meet, I'm like, let's go. This is going to be so valuable. This is going to be so helpful. You are going to learn more from that meet than you did from the 5 that you nailed. I promise you. Those competitions when you are at your worst, which happens to every single person at some point along the way, those are the ones where you are going to learn the most valuable stuff. So, then you've got a fixed mindset that goes, we have got to change something now. Okay, so now I'll come back to that, but I want you also to imagine that you just got a job as a school principal. And the previous principal left a mess of things, hot mess, and now everyone's coming after you after 2 days of work going, you are failing. When you're like, whoa, hold on. We have to address a lot of stuff that's in the foundation and the culture in order to truly solve these issues, So when athletes come to us with the mindset that they learned from their parents, looking for a quick fix, from their coaches, we just go for it, from their teammates, you're not good enough, then they think, okay, this is going to be a quick fix. And immediately after 2 sessions, you're going to have your best meet ever. That just is part of the problem. That's actually the root of mental blocks, is a fixed mindset that expects, just like the common mindset of gymnastics, that it has to be perfect now. There will not be setbacks. We will not go back to a low beam. We only move forward and we only move in a linear way. If you expect that, there's a lack of patience. There's a lot of pressure. There's a hyper focus on what's not going right. It's only the corrections, not the compliments. That is why it takes a minute, So once, and I'll tell you, I have had, a single 20-minute conversation with a kid who is then able to go back and overcome her mental block. That's not always how it goes. I really wish it was. But that happens. But a lot of the time when you're, working through a fixed mindset, believing you have to be perfect, believing you have to impress everybody, doing it for other people, your parents are putting pressure. They're saying, we're not going to keep doing this if it's going to cost us money to watch you come in 14th place. All of those things have to be rearranged, which is why we actually don't work one-on-one with athletes whose parents are not willing to do their work as well. This is a firm boundary. I don't work one-on-one with families that the parent isn't willing to go through our peak performance parenting course and our parenting through fear course when it's somebody who's got a mental block. Because once the parent can learn to go, hey, we had a setback. This is good because you're going to learn. I can't wait for you to go back and talk to your coach on Tuesday so that you can sort this out, find clues, and learn how to be your very best self in competition. So we train the parents in the background how to do that. Our Perform Happy Parents Facebook group is gold. I say it all the time. It's a safe place where parents can come and vent and be like, we hate the coach. We're switching gyms. We're blah, blah, blah. And then we go, okay, hold on. Take a breath. Let's find our growth mindset solution to this so that you can model that for your kid. And then let's sit in the mud with them, understand that it feels hard, and be really proud that they are learning how to work through hard things. That's the true benefit of mental training. And if you're looking for a quick fix and the family isn't willing to look at themselves and you're not willing to hold your coach accountable, then that keeps us stuck. And always the kids who stay stuck, long term with fear, there is a parental and or a coach aspect. And it's that the coach and or the parent is operating with a fixed mindset. They're being impatient. They're expecting everything to go, right now, always linear, always forward, and they don't want setbacks. That's going to keep the kids stuck because as we build a growth mindset in the background, they're going to go right back into the environment that created the mindset that they came in with. So if you're not willing to shift the entire support squad, you're going to keep getting some version of what you have been getting, regardless of how high quality your mental training is. Okay, and then there's one other reason, which I'll just throw in here. Mental training doesn't work for families who believe that it's about mental toughness, that we got to toughen you up, that the coach just has to break the kid. And if they just leave them there for an hour on the beam, they're going to pull it together and go because they finally want it bad enough. There's this assumption that, we're supposed to, as mental trainers, teach the kids how to get motivated to do the scary thing and be tougher and do hard stuff. But really what matters is trust. So just like you have to trust yourself to be able to do a skill. You have to trust your coach. You have to trust your parents. And when a kid is not going for a skill that they're physically capable of doing, this is not them needing to toughen up. This is the environment needs to be set up in a way that the athlete can trust everyone around them and themselves. Now, that's unreasonable to say that you can trust everyone around you in a high pressure environment. But in order for an athlete to truly trust themselves, there has to be the feeling that they have a voice, that they get to have a process, that they are free to fail and learn, that it's okay to have a meet that builds character, because that's exactly what it does. So instead of reinforcing the ability to force those skills quicker because you want it, because it needs to happen now, because we're paying for it, everyone really just needs to fold in around building a growth mindset and embracing challenges. And when the whole support squad is doing the deal, that's when you see absolute magic in the kids. This is why when kids switch gyms, they get all their skills back in 2 weeks if they are working with a coach who has a fixed mindset and they go to a place where they can be nurtured. So if you have any questions about what it's like to work one-on-one, we would love to offer you a free consultation. Me and my amazing team of coaches specialize in helping young individual sport athletes like gymnasts, cheerleaders, divers, figure skaters get their confidence back so that they can perform at their best. If you are interested in a consultation, I'm going to link that below, but you can also go to completeperformancecoaching.com/consult. Hop on a free 20-minute coaching call and you will be able to see what it's like to work with us, and we can give you a mental game plan to use this summer to get the mindset within your support squad right so that your kiddo can just kill it next year. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you soon.